Hello, it's me, Jack Rodak. Today we're going to be doing a top 10, well, actually, it's going to be a top 9 of, in my opinion, the number one best actor of all time, Tom Hanks. People say the best actor of all time could be Robert De Niro or Jack Nicholson. To me, it's Tom Hanks, okay? Jack Nicholson and Robert De Niro, camera's a little for me. Jack Nicholson and Robert De Niro don't have the right performance as Tom Hanks does. Tom Hanks doesn't have any awful performance in any movie he's in. Some of the other actors can at least have one flaw and all. But for Tom Hanks, nah, this ain't nothing for him. So today I'm going to look and talk about the top 9 best Tom Hanks movies. I say top 9 and not top 10 because there are movies like The Green Mile and Saving Private Ryan that are R, so I need the chance to see when I can. So for this list, I couldn't find a total of 10 Tom Hanks movies I'm seeing. And no, Saving Mr. Banks and Angels and Demons won't count because, you know, you know. But anyway, on to the countdown. And before we start, I just want to say one thing. There won't be any pop culture references of any other movies in this film list. My movie reviews are going to have pop culture references. This won't, so be aware of that. Let's get started with the list. At number 9, we have Turner and Hooch. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one. They don't find Turner and Hooch to be the best Tom Hanks movie of all time. In my opinion, though, it's one that actually is funny at some point. A movie about Tom Hanks' character, who is a guy with the last name Turner, who meets up with this crazy-ass dog named Hooch, who is pretty ugly, as you can see, but he's also pretty dangerous. He's like the Beast from The Sandlot, except this time it's a different kind of character. He ruins the house, he chews up everything, and Tom Hanks just is sick of it, so he does a lot of yelling in the movie. This is what I like about Tom Hanks classics. It always has that fun yelling and that fun feel of Tom Hanks' performance. And this is a perfect example by some standards. But there are others that are way better. Okay? If I want to do a Tom Hanks impression, I'll try. What? Okay, I can do it. It's a really hard to do, but regardless of that, this is still a really good movie of anything but. At number 8, we have The Burbs. Another thing a lot of people are going to disagree on. People think The Burbs is one of those Tom Hanks movies that focuses more on the comedy than an actual fun story. And yeah, that is true. But again, Tom Hanks has some of the greatest comedy in the 80s or 90s in some time. And this is another perfect example. It has a lot of fun stuff. A movie about Tom Hanks' performance who goes to a mansion and thinks it's haunted as his mom, well actually his wife, who is played by Carrie Fisher for some reason, it disagrees with him. He explores the house, he does a lot of stuff, a lot of funny stuff happens. It's just the one thing. The reason this is on the top 9 is because he is somewhat really funny in a performance like this. You just can't see his performance like this anymore, even though that he still can be in the movie industry, but the movie industry didn't feel like it did in this movie, so that's just what I like to see. Number 7 is Castaway. Most people would put Castaway closer to the top 5, but for me personally, Castaway feels like something for this choice. I have a lot of other famous Tom Hanks movies I want to mention coming on this list, so I decided to put Castaway here. Castaway is about Tom Hanks' performance, who is stranded on an island, who talks to a volleyball Spalding brand product placement, and he yells the classic line, "Well, son!" It's always a funny movie, but it's also really interesting seeing Tom Hanks do all this stuff to live through a whole island with no one with his help. He does finally get help at the end, but at that point on, he was just surviving really much. Now we see movies like that too, like Madagascar took the idea too, which is stupid. Even though then, Castaway is still and will always be the Tom Hanks movie of a lifetime that you would think would make you be happy you're not like him in this movie. Number 6 is The Polar Express. This is his animated performance, which is based off the famous novel with the same name, The Polar Express. Here he plays the instructor who is the taking on for a train that goes to the North Pole. There's a bunch of kids who don't have the Christmas spirit for Santa. And all that is just really well. The animation kind of gets me though. This animation is made by the one and only Robert Zemeckis. As you probably know for making movies like Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or What's Coming Up on this list. And with that being said though, Polar Express is somewhat really fun to watch. The North going to the North Pole, having a lot of fun elements with Tom Hanks in it. He has that scream too, which is classic. It's not as funny as the other I just talked about, but it doesn't have to be funny to be good. It is so impressively done that I completely forgot how much I enjoyed the book as much as I enjoyed this movie. At number 5 is Apollo 13. This is a classic of space. Anyone remember the classic space movie 2001: A Space Odyssey? I bet a lot of people remember that movie. 2001: A Space Odyssey was talking about the case of a guy in space who goes through future proportions. Here it's about Tom Hanks who gets captured, lost in space, and can't get out. And yes, we did just talk about Castaway, which had an idea too, except he was stranded on an island. This came out first, and he was stranded in space, along with his character Kevin Bacon from Footloose, and it also features Bill Paxton, which are really good for the performance. But in my opinion, Tom Hanks puts a better performance than anyone of the other characters do. And that's why Apollo 13 will always stay as a wonderful Tom Hanks space movie. And yes, there is 2001: A Space Odyssey, which in my opinion is better, but whatever. This movie still works like a charm. At number 4, we have Catch Me If You Can. This movie is just pure enjoyment. This movie doesn't just feature Tom Hanks' good performance, it also features the classic Leonardo DiCaprio in the performance. He plays the guy who does a lot of stuff in his life, and he's a phony, so Tom Hanks has to catch him, which is why it's called Catch Me If You Can. And all of that is done perfectly well. So, yeah, Catch Me If You Can is nothing but enjoyment. All of the characters, all of the stuff, all of the fun moments with Hanks and DiCaprio. It's just nice seeing those two famous classic actors interact with each other. And with all that, you just know the next options are going to have to be better. At least in my opinion. If you think this is better than these options, then this is just what you think. You can ruin this list if you don't like it. At number 3 is Big. This is a really big movie. Alright, I'm gonna stop. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. But yeah, this movie is so well. It's a movie about a kid who wants to be big to get along as he becomes big. And then we get the character of Tom Hanks, who apparently goes to New York and even applies for a job at a toy store. Though, believe it or not, this actually featured a classic scene from him, the piano scene. How about this? I'll show you the piano scene. Well, naturally, I won't do that, but really though, the piano scene is beautiful. And it's really classic to remember. A lot of stuff in the movie is fun to remember, especially when you see Tom Hanks in the performance of a lifetime. Big, it will always remain one of his number 1 best movie of the 80s. Number 2 is Toy Story. At this point on, we all probably think number 1 could be easy, but Toy Story is something real. This was, without a doubt, my number 1 childhood of all time. Back when I was so young, like 5 through 6, Toy Story remained as my all-time favorite movie ever. Today, we have movies like Star Wars and Marvel Cinematic Universe movies I enjoy, but back when Toy Story was out, everything was perfect for me. This movie had everything. The cowboy toy who comes to life when the kid's gone, and then we also have Buzz who takes on as the toy. Tim Allen and Tom Hanks really work together. In fact, this movie is so good, it spawned 3 sequels. We got Toy Story 2, which was really good. There was Toy Story 3, which was, in my opinion, my favorite. And then there was Toy Story 4, which remained perfectly well. So yeah, the Toy Story franchise hold up so well. And now let's just get to the obvious. Number 1 is Forrest frickin' Gump. This movie is frickin' awesome. It is like the number one drama movie I can think of that has the best performance Tom Hanks would ever give. I would say Toy Story could be better, but how does Toy Story, a movie about toys come to life, beat the classic Oscar winner of Forrest Gump? At least for some people, but for me personally, it does. It is so good that it literally cannot be forgotten at any point on. It's based off the classic book. Forrest Gump is about the guy named Forrest Gump who has a fun life as of running and as of having a girl Jenny. A lot of that stuff is taken so well. Okay, so well. It does have sad moments in it though, but hey, that sad moments make the movies more and more fun. I do find it sad at the end that when Jenny died, when that was kind of a little out of nowhere. But out of nowhere stuff can be fine a couple times. And I say a couple because there are sometimes being out of nowhere can be stupid. Hey though, it's Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump. This, in my opinion, is and will remain the number one best Tom Hanks movie of all time. I know there's movies out there like Saving Private Ryan, The Green Mile, or stuff like that, but even when I do see them, they can't be anything better than Forrest frickin' Gump. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'm going back to my next point tomorrow where I will be reviewing a movie. Because, wanna know why? Because tomorrow is frickin' for Independence Day. Now, before you ask, I'm not going to be reviewing Independence Day. Why? Because on Independence Day, I'm going to see Independence Day. So instead, I'm going to review an American-made movie. What American-made movies could there be? How about ones about baseball? I'll review a baseball movie. And what baseball movie will I review? You know what.